Scott Sensenbrenner, digestion is the key to our wellness. This is episode 116 on Alternative Health Tools podcast, where we discover and share new alternative health tools and resources from alternative healthcare practitioners and experts.
Hi, everyone. This is Kim Shea, your co-host for this episode of Alternative Health Tools, coming to you from this side of the pond here in Southern California. And today I have the privilege of speaking with Scott Sensenbrenner. He is the president and CEO of Enzymatica, and he has been since 2009. And he's been involved in the nutrition industry since 1990. And Enzymatica is based in Florida, but they have 30,000 retail locations. They're pretty big, and he's going to fill us in on everything about their products and how they can help us achieve better wellness. And he's also on the board of the American Nutrition Association. Like, you eat, breathe, and sleep nutrition, it sounds like. I
do. Absolutely. It has been the cornerstone to my life and my passions.
How did you get into this anyway? Was there a calling, or you stumble into it? How'd you get here?
You know, I did stumble into it. I mean, it goes back to my early 20s. And at the time I was working for a advertising agency, and I worked with developing a lot of, well-known national brands. And I finally got to the point where I became so passionate about each of the brands that I was working on, and I wanted to focus on one industry. And long story short was I was living in Wisconsin at the time, and a friend of mine told me about a dietary supplement brand called Enzymatic Therapy. And they were looking for someone to head up their strategy and kind of their marketing programs. And that's what really got me into this. Was I took that first opportunity, and that's when I really, discovered natural living and natural healing. And the more and more that I got into it, I just became incredibly passionate, to the point that I've literally devoted my entire career around, helping the marketplace find nature's answers.
That's really neat. And we're always on this podcast, we're always looking to talk to people who have some alternatives for us. And your products are much more extensive than I had realized when I went on there and looked. And you say digestion is the key to overall wellness. Do you want to expand on that?
It is. I mean, it's let's face it, we are living based on the fact that we're eating, right? And when you look at, poor digestion and what it really does in terms of impacting your overall health, it impacts everything from energy to nutrient absorption to mood to mind to every bodily function. And, for anyone out there who is, looking at the upcoming new year, new you, a lot of talk is about weight loss, but new year, new you should be about, looking at your digestive well-being, and start with your gut first. And that leads to, things like weight loss and all of your, microbiome activity within your body that literally controls every function.
And have you seen any stories like that where, have you had evidence of that, where you've seen of people or heard of people who've had that benefit from restoring their gut health or their digestive
health? Yes, I think in the medical community, one of the first things any doctor will be looking at is the digestive health of the patient, and how is that, attributing to what may or may not be happening within the individual. And again, someone who could be, dealing with low energy levels, a lot of it could be coming from their digestive system and what foods that they're eating or not eating, right? Mm-hmm. And, so it's a very well documented and well accepted in the entire medical community that, the best means to, healthy life is what you eat. And, and really the other part to look at it is the best mitigator of disease is your nutrition. If you're genetically, predispositioned to, various issues, the best way to mitigate those things is your digestive environment and what you're putting into your body. And that begins at a very young age.
Yeah. And I know in America that is particularly a challenge with people and their health overall, what they eat. And so if somebody's eating like a so-so diet, I'm not talking about if somebody's eating a terrible diet, like fast food all the time, but if someone's eating a so-so diet, are these supplements able to help them?
They do. I mean, it's the products that Enzymedica produces are very wide ranging with a primary focus on various digestive, concerns, but it's when you're looking again at digestive health, it's the one category that impacts everyone, and young children, can have, reactions sometimes if they're food intolerance issues, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if they've got enzyme deficiencies. Likewise, elderly, as you age, you produce less enzymes, and you may have had, zero digestive issues when you were younger, but as you're aging, your body is aging inside, and as you're producing less enzymes, you have less, capability to break down and digest foods, and therefore you start to get issues of bloating and gas and other digestive conditions that are new to you. And that's really what Enzymedica specializes in is that it doesn't matter your age, your gender, or who you are. We've got a digestive product for you.
Okay, so then you're saying this is an enzyme that actually is going to go in there and replace if you're deficient. It'll actually go in there and help your body to break down food better, absorb a bit better.
It does. Now, again, we've got, products ranging from complete meal digestion, like our number one best-selling product actually is a product called Digest Gold. And what Digest Gold is a product that everyone should be taking, just like you take a multivitamin. You take a multivitamin because it's got comprehensive nutrients that your body needs. When you take a product like Digest Gold, it has, several enzymes in there. Each enzyme is specialized in breaking down different foods. So if you're sitting down for a meal and it's got proteins and carbohydrates on it and it's got vegetables, each of those foods require different enzyme types for your body to properly break them down. And a product like Digest Gold, what it does is that, let's say that you've got a dinner and you're eating chicken. Well, chicken is predominantly made up of proteins. And inside Digest Gold supplement, we've got enzymes that are called protease. And protease are protein digesting enzymes. So even if you're not experiencing digestive issues, again, just like a multivitamin, it's a great way to improve digestive efficiency and nutrient absorption. And that's something that everyone should be interested in.
Are these products that you have to ease into slowly? I had been introduced to some supplements before where I had to start out really slowly. Is it something that takes time to get used to? That's another
key differentiation with Enzymedica is that, we do not take a one size fits all approach to digestion because everyone is different. So, let's say that you're someone where you've had a long history of ulcers in your stomach, okay? And with ulcers, that means you've got open areas. In that case, you would want to begin with our product called Digest Basic, which is lesser potency enzymes. That product works the same way as Digest Gold, but it allows you to take advantage of the digestive benefit of enzymes and allows your stomach and your digestive system to properly heal so that, you go from Digest Basic to our next product, which is called Digest. And then you would take that product and you would go to Digest Gold. But someone with a healthy digestive system, you can really start with Digest Gold, which is, would be the equivalent if you're looking at, cars where you've got a BMW 3 Series and a BMW 7. Digest Gold would be the best product for the average consumer to be taking.
Okay. This is really cool. So what's the difference between an enzyme and a probiotic? Are they the same thing?
They're not. They could not be more different. I mean, it's like what's the difference between a dolphin and a seagull, right? So it's probiotics, which Enzymedica also sells, and we also sell products with combination enzymes and probiotics. In fact, Digest Gold, one of the variations of that product we have, combines probiotics with it. But when you're looking at probiotics, it really what they are is they are gut dwelling bacteria that keep pathogens, harmful microorganisms in check, and they aid in your overall digestion, your nutrient absorption, and also play a key role in overall immune function. And so, probiotics themselves, they are truly living organisms. If you had a microscope and you could look at them, you would actually see living bacteria. And so that bacteria is key because that's a critical component to your digestive process to also help you, create a positive environment for a healthy digestion. It also helps with your colon, because that's where a lot of the bacteria lives, and helps you with things like regularity, right? And overall, it's when you're looking at your immune system, you've got good bacteria and bad bacteria. So you really want to make sure that you've got more good bacteria in your system in the event that that a immune related issue enters your body. It's the good army, the good bacteria, the probiotics that are going to help defend you. Contrary to that, enzymes are truly mechanical. So when you think of enzymes, they're virtually like scissors. And what they do is as you eat food and it enters into your digestive system, enzymes are very specific, and they will recognize the food type, and your body does produce a lot of its own enzymes, and your body immediately says, okay, I just ate chicken, I've got a protein in my system, let's send in the protease enzymes, and the protease enzymes act like scissors, and they start cutting up the molecules and breaking them down into smaller particles, so that it is easier for your body to break down the foods, gain the nutrient benefits, and then help move the food through your system.
Okay. I had no idea. This is really nice to understand this. So then you brought up immunity, which is one of my questions I want to ask you about. Given the pandemic situation that we're in right now, are these products helpful generally to help us be protected against catching any type of infection?
They do. I mean, again, it goes back to, if you have a healthy gut, you have a healthy you. And, one of the things that a lot of your audience may or may not be hearing is about the human microbiome. Okay. And, think of the microbiome, which is a scientific world. Let me simplify it. Imagine a swimming pool, and you've got a swimming pool that it's clear, it's, beautiful to swim in, and it's all balanced. It has a balanced pH. Okay. So you're not seeing any algae growth, et cetera. That's the environment you want to swim in. But the second that system gets disrupted and the pH gets off, the swimming pool starts to be introduced to algae, and it turns green, and it truly becomes, virtually toxic. Okay. And that's a pool that no one wants to be swimming in. So, your digestive system is the core to your immune system. That's where everything begins. And so just like your swimming pool, that's where you want to introduce, enzymes to help you break down foods, gain, the optimal nutrient absorption, which it's nutrients that lead directly to support your immune function. And then likewise, we mentioned probiotics are the healthy bacteria, and it's that healthy bacteria that becomes a key defense mechanism against immune-related issues.
Okay, that all makes sense. All right, thank you. That's great. So what I want to ask you too, so for people, I saw you had some specifically seem to be tailored towards repairing the lining of the stomach and the GI tract. And so you have some heartburn relief. So how would that work for somebody who has Barrett's esophagus, or is it for a minor heartburn?
Well, yeah. Barrett's esophagus is a specific condition, and I'll talk about that in a second. But
okay.
Our heartburn relief product is a great story because, when you look at heartburn, which virtually everyone experiences it sometimes, heartburn, you have to look at what is causing your heartburn. Okay. Is it being caused again from the foods that you're eating? High acidity foods like orange juice, peppers, spicy foods. Coffee can be highly acidic. Coffee is one of those foods that a lot of people don't necessarily connect to heartburn, but yet it's a key cause of it. And then there's also, causes of heartburn that, come from people who overproduce too much stomach acid. And then as you get older, there's a sphincter in the lower part of your throat that kind of connects to your stomach. And as you get older, you can get weakening of that. And that valve can allow acid to seep up into your esophagus. And that's where you get that burning sensation. So that's one cause of what people experience for a heartburn. And then another type of a heartburn issue, believe it or not, comes from individuals who have low stomach acid. And how do you know that you have low stomach acid? It's actually fairly simple. If you're eating foods and if you notice that, within 30 to 45 minutes, you get that severe bloating, almost that a pregnant look, there's a high probability that you have low stomach acid. And so in that case, we've got a product called betaine HCl, which is betaine hydrochloric acid. And what that product will do is actually balance your digestive acidity, and it does it very, very quickly, and that will relieve the symptoms of heartburn. But for the other conditions, we've got heartburn relief, and for that product, I became very passionate about it because some of the best-selling products in the market are pharmaceutical drugs, like Nexium, Prilosec. They are well-established, well-researched. They're highly effective for heartburn. The challenge with those products is that they're designed to actually, to actually kill the system that produces acid, your pumps. So your body stops producing acid, and therefore you get relieved of the symptoms. Now, that's very effective for someone who wants temporary relief. What those products are not designed for is for long-term usage beyond, say, 2 to 4 weeks. And the reason being is that as you shut down the pumps from products like that, your body reacts to produce more acid pumps every 30 days. And if you get on long-term usage, what ends up happening is if you try to stop, you're going to get what's called a rebound effect. And all of a sudden, you're going to get heartburn unlike anything you have ever experienced before. So wow. You literally have to wean yourself off of the PPI products. That bothers me a lot. And so, we wanted to take a natural approach, and I challenged our internal R&D group, and we hired some of the best third-party scientists, and I challenged them to really search the planet for the best solution for heartburn. And they spent 2 years looking at all of these various ingredients, natural ingredients. And the goal was how how can we create the ultimate natural solution for heartburn? And that became our heartburn relief product. And so what that product is, it has several key ingredients in it, but the most important one is L-Ginate. L-Ginate comes from brown seaweed, and it literally works like a raft. So what you do is that you take the product, it's a great tasting chewable, you swallow it, you'll actually feel it start to froth, to foam up as you're chewing it. When you swallow it, that foam floats to the top of your stomach and actually creates a protective barrier so that stomach acid is not entering into your esophagus, affecting you. And then it also has what's called prickly pear extract in it. And we've got the clinical studies that shows that it provides a protective barrier around your stomach lining to further enhance the mitigation effect of the experience of heartburn. So, different causes of heartburn, different solutions, whether it's too much acid, heartburn relief, too little acid, betaine HCl. Now you asked about Barrett's esophagus syndrome, and that's typically the result of repeated exposure to stomach acid. Okay, and that's really what I was talking about. It's often diagnosed in individuals who have it gastro reflux disease, GERD, and they really haven't dealt with it. And so it is a maddening condition. I do want to state that none of our products are disease position products, and so we support the function of heartburn as opposed to something like a Barrett's disease.
Okay. The products sound very soothing, though. They just the way you're describing it seems like it would be something that'd be very soothing to the stomach.
Well, you get, whether it's the heartburn products that I mentioned or the digestive enzymes. One of the great things about any Enzymatica product is that you experience the results immediately. It's not like if you take a multivitamin, that it's a doing good, you feel good about it. When you take our heartburn relief, you literally will experience the benefits of that relief within 60 to 90 seconds.
Oh, okay. Boy.
In the case of our Digest Gold product, you take that product 5 minutes before your meal, and because you want that a capsule to open up. So as you eat foods, the enzymes immediately become activated. They start breaking down the foods, and someone who's dealing with gas and bloating issues, you're going to experience significant improvement in those areas. But also, your digestive system is a key consumer of your overall body's energy. Okay. We just had Thanksgiving and we all ate large meals. Mm-hmm. After those meals, you get really sleepy. Well, part of the big reason why you're getting sleepy is all the blood rushes around your digestive system and it starts working like its own marathon. And when you introduce a product like Digest Gold to speed up digestion, your body now uses less of its own energy to break down your meal. And therefore, that energy is now still in your system. And many consumers experience a boost in energy that they've never experienced before because now they can use it for life and lifestyle versus breaking down their foods.
Sounds great. How about gluten?
Gluten is one of our core focus areas, and we introduced a product called Gluten-Ease, and we were really the first in the natural product industry to focus on the food intolerance consumer that has issues with a gluten. And so our Gluten-Ease formula is the best on the planet. What it is that we've got specific enzymes, a enzyme which probably no one knows it in your audience is called DPP4. And what that is it is a enzyme that is specifically focused on speeding up the breakdown and the digestive process of gluten. and individuals that are intolerant, that's really important because many times with gluten, that can be a cause of gas, bloating very rapidly. And you want to take a product like Glutenese to help break that down.
Okay, so this is for somebody with celiacs or somebody who has mild gluten intolerance?
No. Thank you for bringing that up. Celiacs, that is a disease, and that's under the allergy category, right? So,
okay.
Anyone with celiac should be completely avoiding gluten, literally to the level that they are so sensitive, that individual doesn't even want to be eating food that was cooked, say previously, where there was even, gluten in the pan, say in a meal that was cooked before them, they would get sick from that. So, we don't, really go after that particular market segment because again, that's a allergy, and avoidance is the best strategy.
Okay. All right. Good to know. All right. Thanks. So you said we would notice these products once we're using them, we would notice the effects pretty quickly, which is nice to know. So it's not like we have to wait 6 months or something like that, which some products you have to wait a long time before you notice. So that's good to hear. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, the immediate benefits, what's, critical, I think, for your audience to know is many of us, we don't know our own digestive system. So some people may think that the cause of their sensitivities or intolerances are gluten. The reality is, let's take something like dairy. Okay. There's products out there, one very well known called Lactaid. Lactaid has lactase in it, which helps break down, dairy, right? Mm-hmm. The challenge is that most people who have dairy intolerances, they really are having sensitivity to casein found in dairy. Mm-hmm. And the casein is a protein. And so in our product, which is called Lacto, we actually have two products. One is called Lacto, which is the ultimate dairy digestion product. That product is a comprehensive formula that includes protease enzymes that break down casein. Okay. And so, when you look at gaining immediate relief, the more you learn and understand your body, you can pick whether it's our Glutenese, our Lacto, or if you're unsure, we've got a product called Spectrum. And Spectrum deals with, 4 of the top 5, 4 of the top, food intolerances, so that if you're unsure whether it's gluten or dairy, you get it all covered in that a single product.
All right. So it's not up to you to be necessarily a detective to figure this all out because you have a product that could take care of everything. I suppose if you have multiple problems.
Yes. The one way, if a consumer really wants to understand, what is their issue and they don't want to guess, one of the best ways for them to be doing that is to do a 30-day, food elimination diet. And there's a lot of programs out there. A lot of the naturopathic doctors are very trained in helping a consumer do a 30-day food elimination diet. And what that is that over 30 days, you eliminate each of the food groups and they get replaced with a non-sensitive food. So, for instance, proteins get replaced with rice. Rice doesn't have a lot of sensitivities in your digestive system. So you're still eating, but you're taking out foods that could be causing issues. And then over 30 days, as you take out a food group, you then add it back and then you keep a journal and you write down how your body feels as you're adding these foods back. And you will quickly begin to realize, as I removed meat and I gained it back, I didn't have any issues. So, guess what? Meat isn't your issue. As I eliminated, gluten and, for instance, wheat from my diet, and then I added it back, all of a sudden I became bloated. and I didn't feel good. Well, now you know that is one of your food intolerances. And then you would just continue down that to really understand if you have other issues.
Okay, but so if somebody didn't want to do that, they just didn't have the discipline, because that would require a significant amount of discipline to do that for 30 days. So the Spectrum would be a good.
Spectrum is actually my favorite product is a Spectrum. I take it with every single meal. And then what I do, I love pizza, for instance. So I will take our Spectrum product, which covers the, pretty much everything on the pizza, from the gluten to the dairy. But then I will look at the pizza itself, and if it's got a lot of, like, a very thick crust, let's say that you're from Chicago and you're going to consume a lot of that pizza, I will take Spectrum, and then I'll also have Glutenese there. I'll take 1 capsule of Glutenese in addition, just to give myself some more enzymes to really break down that a particular meal.
And so then you feel good after you eat something like this.
I feel fantastic.
Wow.
And, it's what's funny about this, it was maybe about 2 months ago, and I was starving, and it was later in the evening, and I didn't feel like I'm making anything. And I just stopped and I got some, pizza, and I swallowed it. Right. Well, I didn't have my enzymes with me. And by the time that I got home, my stomach was killing me. And so I went over to the cabinet. I took Spectrum, I took our Glutenese, and I took Lacto. And I actually had a bloating part of that. And I could see the bloat in my stomach within 15 minutes go down to a nothing.
Oh my gosh.
It's, and I kind of smiled when I see that, because now that's a personal experience, but it just shows the power of these enzymes. And that's part of our greatest challenge is that, to your audience, there's these amazing benefits of enzymes. And so many people focus on probiotics. They really should be focused on enzymes, because that's what really makes the greatest and most noticeable difference to your digestive discomforts.
Well, it sounds like you can have a lot more fun too. As opposed to avoiding everything because you know that you've got it covered. But what about someone who's just finished a course of antibiotics? Would there be anything special for them? Because that damages the bacteria in the gut, does it not?
It does. And, we've got a product called GI Rebuild that has, 50 superfoods in it. And we also have probiotic products too. So, but the GI Rebuild product is a powdered drink product. And what that promotes is your body's own ability to make good bacteria. And that's really someone who is, taking, say the 2-week dosage of antibiotics, they want to be, regaining the beneficial bacteria to their system. And our GI Rebuild product is actually perfect for that.
Okay, it's cool. So I was looking on your website. It's a really nice website, and I noticed your prices are all really reasonable too. I do want to bring that up because it's not some insane program where you're going to go into debt just trying to have better health, which it's nice. And then it says here you have it available in 30,000 retail locations. So where is it, online or stores, or where can we find it?
Yeah, and you can literally find us at virtually every health food store across the U.S. We're also in international markets around the world. If you were in the UK, you could go in and buy all these products. But going into your independent health food stores, which Enzymedica adores, just because these are the real soldiers in the field that almost act as natural pharmacists to really help you find the right products. But also we sell to Whole Foods, Sprouts, cool. I believe in your area, you've got Erewhon's, those are all great, retail stores to purchase Enzymedica. And during COVID, not a lot of people want to go into a retail. So, you can buy our products on Amazon, and then we do sell direct on Enzymedica's website, which, by the way, on our website, regardless if you're going to go there to purchase product or not, we've got a quiz called Digest 360. It's totally free. And it takes you through questions about your digestive health. And what you get in the end is you get specific product recommendations based upon what you're experiencing.
Oh, that's really helpful. So you're going to be able to reach everybody, which is really neat to help everybody. I had no idea it was so widespread. That's really, really wonderful.
Well, thank you very much. I mean, it's when you live your passion, you don't work a single day. In other words, it's you enjoy what you do, and we are making a tremendous difference. And I can tell you with absolute certainty that there is no other brand, no other company on the planet that is more focused on this naturally than what Enzymedica is. And we don't compromise on anything. And, you did bring up about price before, and thank you for making that a comment. But one of the things I like to say is the most expensive product is usually the cheapest product because it doesn't work. You'll find other companies out there selling enzymes, and most of those companies are, broad-based supplement companies that are trying to be all things. And, you really can't do that when it comes to your digestive system. You really need to have the investments in the science and the efficacy and understanding how to blend enzymes, versus a lot of the, other companies out there will produce a product. It'll appear to have the same activity, but the blend of enzymes is dramatically different than what ours is because they're going for a low price point. We're not really in this per se for the business. We're in this because we believe in the mission in helping consumers find healthier solutions to live happier lives.
It's really awesome. And I can tell that this is really a passion of yours and that you're trying to solve solutions. So it's really been nice that you came on and talked to us about this. Really appreciate it. We do have a big following in the UK too, so they'll be glad to know they can find this there as well as the US. Is there anything else you want to let us know?
No, I just want to, wish everyone happy holidays. If this is playing prior to the upcoming, Christmas, New Year's. And I want to thank everyone for your time in listening and learning about Enzymedica. And, it's, to really keep up with us beyond going to enzymedica.com. We've got a very robust social media, especially with Facebook. And you can see a lot of interviews and ongoing educational content on Enzymedica Facebook. And so feel free to like us and kind of join the Enzymedica Club.
Cool. All right. So I'll give your contact information in the show notes so people can find you there. That would be really great.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah. So I do want to thank Scott Sensenbrenner from Enzymedica coming on here with us today. And you can catch this podcast anywhere you get your podcast.
Produced by Heard Not Seen Media. Visit imaginepodcasting.com for more information.